rise in support of Amendment 340, an amendment that supports the working men and women of this Commonwealth, known as the right to recall. Now, the COVID-19 pandemic has decimated so many industries in the Commonwealth, but it has created an incredible economic dislocation on the Massachusetts hospitality and food service industries. These industries have taken nearly hundreds of billions of dollars out of the Massachusetts economy. And we've learned about them recently in the papers of local circulation that these high-profile examples, including the Four Seasons in Boston and the Boston Marriott Copley, have spotlighted these issues where long-term workers are laid off and then being told to reapply for a position that they held prior to this pandemic. Now, these companies like the Marriott Copley that are making and reporting over $100 million in profits in quarter 3 during this pandemic, are putting that profit over the people that have served them for 10, 20, and nearly 30 years as workers in those hotels. These hardworking individuals who have been laid off have been at the hotels for so long, 10, 20, 30 years. There's a profile for these people as well. Oftentimes they're Black and brown women, and their income at these hotels for being there for so long can range from the $25 an hour to $30 an hour range, and they are typically the only and primary source of income for their family. And while we expect industries that are down 50% in sales to lay off people during a pandemic such as this, I think we can expect as a Commonwealth that when these industries begin to come back and these industries build back our economy, that they do so by rehiring people who are trained, people who are professionalized, and people who have the know-how to get these industries back on a level playing field. And that's what the right to recall amendment would do. It would secure workers' rights by allowing municipalities across the Commonwealth to opt in through ordinances or other means to the right to recall, which would require hotels that are employers with over 50 rooms, and of course Logan Airport, my district, and food and service and retail to rehire those laid off employees before hiring new workers for a less of an hourly rate or less of a salary. We want to allow cities and towns that want to do the same join cities like LA, cities like Oakland in California, and Providence, Rhode Island, that have already passed right to recall ordinances in their cities and towns. Let me be clear, I want this issue to be raised up not just as a question of workers' rights, but as a question of racial justice. We cannot allow hotel managers to put profit over people and hire new employees rather than bring back the current workers, because it threatens that diversity of a diverse workforce that existed before the COVID-19 pandemic. A workforce that we instituted laws and regulations to see to could remain diverse and become diverse is at risk if we don't pass this legislation. Now, I understand that this budget is crucial during these times. It's important that we get through this budget, that we can vote on this budget and go to work and let the Commonwealth continue to work in battling back the COVID-19 pandemic. But I want to stand here today and say, although this amendment has been withdrawn, I will be filing it again in January so we can continue this conversation and ensure as we build back our economy during this pandemic, we can do so with the workers that have been properly trained, workers that have dedicated most of their life to the hospitality and food industries in Massachusetts. So I want to thank the more than 20 senators who co-sponsored this amendment and who have supported the working men and women across the Commonwealth. Thank you, Mr.